Fred Mangle, Captain, U.S. Navy, retired. It was tough. You know, we had a lot of cagey old men on that ship, okay? 2 W4s, warrants, one of who had been through the Panama Canal in coal, okay, well before World War II. We had a W3 carpenter who survived the Bataan Death March. So, you know, and of course, these people treated ensigns like dirt, okay? But we almost immediately went overseas, you know, on a deployment. So about 4 months after I was on the ship, we were coming back to the ship from Liberty in Okinawa, and the W4 warrant, who was the senior warrant, an engineman, right, tried to get off the ship to the platform for the accommodation ladder and fell in the water. And I realized that if something wasn't done, the boat was going to smash him up against the accommodation ladder and kill him. So I jumped to the accommodation ladder, being younger than he was, grabbed him, dragged him underneath the accommodation ladder just before the boat slammed into it, saved his life, and from then on I was in good shape on that ship. Because the W4 said, "Don't fool around with this kid, he's all right." He took care of me from the rest of the time. Anytime anything happened in engineering that was of interest, he would come and get me and drag me down there to see it. Nobody picked on that ensign again in the wardroom. The old guy would take care of me. We carried Marines. We carried 1,500 Marines, and we carried, you know, Mike boats and P boats to land them on the beach. And we were also a flagship. And in those days, there were 20 ships in our division, and in our squadron, excuse me. We had, you know, LSTs and other APAs and other ships in our squadron. So it was a very good sized squadron. Yeah. Always to the Pacific. My whole first 10, 11 years in the Navy was all Pacific. Yeah. And the Cavalier was kind of interesting. We had the while I was on the Cavalier, I became navigator, and so we were supposed to go on an exercise where we picked the Marines up in Hawaii, came back to California, landed them at Pendleton, took care of them at Pendleton, and eventually took them back to Hawaii. So fine. And I was not only navigating as the flagship for the Cavalier, but I was also navigating for the entire squadron. Okay, 20 ships. So anyway, we left, got the Marines aboard in Hawaii, sailed out of Hawaii, heading back for California, and all of a sudden, it's early evening, and my quartermaster comes screaming down to me. He says, "We just changed due north." And I said, "Who the hell gave that order?" I didn't tell anybody to change due north. And he said, "I don't know, we just got word from the flag to go due north." I said, "Damn." So I raced up to the bridge, asked the OD, "Why did we change to due north?" He said, "Don't ask me. Came from the, you know, from the flag." So I went over to the captain. I said, "Why are we going due north?" He said, "I don't know either." So about an hour or two later, we changed back. We're heading due west. I said, "Well, that's interesting. We're going back to Hawaii?" He said, "I don't know." It was the Laos. It was the Laos thing, and we went all the way to Okinawa instead of going to California. Meanwhile, all the wives were expecting us in California, they were all on the pier waiting for us, and a chaplain showed up and said, well, they're not coming. Oh, where are they? Well, we can't tell you. You know? And by that time, we were approaching Okinawa, and we went into Okinawa, and they decided to call off the Laos thing. But it was really funny. I mean, how many people didn't realize that Laos was landlocked and that we couldn't land on the beaches of Laos? A lot of the Marines had no idea where Laos was. So we had to go and hold little seminars on where Laos was. It was kind of fun, really. But this was under Kennedy.